Hey, what's going on? Primetime Phil here with, of course, my boy Bryan Greene. And this is our first live broadcast here, so there's going to be some bumps and bruises along the way. And we'll just have to do our kind of our thing as I do stuff. I'll throw stuff. Bryan will do his thing. But yeah, thanks, guys. Welcome. And Bryan, welcome. Don't know if you want to say hi to the
What's
guys.
up, Phil? Oh, I'm looking at everybody. We know them all. You got Blue Virus. What's up, brother? Let's
I
go.
love
Can't
weed. I
wait.
love that.
Yeah, I love weed, my buddy. Joe Gonzalez.
Yeah, man, I love it. I mean, I honestly, when I first thought that we were going to do a live broadcast, I really didn't think I was going to have anybody. I thought I was just really, honestly, I didn't even think I was going to have Bryan. I thought I was going to honestly just do it by myself and kind of talk to myself
I
and
can't imagine doing that though, Phil. I mean, you
something.
need to
Yeah,
balance it all. Yeah, I think there's a balance of having too many, but you have to have somebody.
yeah,
So I
exactly.
want to know. I want to know what is the most important thing to come out of the game tonight. I know me. I want to see the young guys, but I just want to come out healthy. I just want to come out healthy.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard not to argue about health, but then when you see stuff that happened last week, where man, we kind of stayed healthy for the most part. Now we got this whole league talking about how we're not, we're soft. I mean, obviously there's concern because the last two games that the Dallas Cowboys have played have been 35 penalties, man, like or 30 something penalties, and it's just obviously that's the concern. That doesn't change whether it's starters, whether it's backups. That's a concern.
But you have the talking heads out there that want to say penalties, penalties. Most of the people doing the penalties are not going to be playing on Sunday. So, last year has nothing to do with this year. I'm going to go with the upbeat and the positive, and let's say, it's a new year. We can't go by what happened last game and go, oh, here we go again.
Yeah,
Because half these
exactly.
kids are not going to be on the team.
Yeah, and it's a young team. I mean, that's something. As much as there's
We
potential with
got an
everybody,
echo,
there's.
Phil.
Oh, my bad. Let's see.
Thanks, Weed. See, this is why we're doing this. We need to work out the kinks.
Uh huh. See if I can bring that
Um, eh, how's my voice? Is it too loud? Is that what's making it echo, or
So is it Brian's echo? So maybe when I talk through, let's see if I can aim this right. How about now?
check, check? Oh, Weed, you just okay. Echo on Brian.
All right. Well, hopefully that changed it. I changed a little couple of things there.
That would be annoying, peeps.
Yeah. So I mean, I can see where it goes. But anyways, yeah. I mean, I wanted to go down the roster. I wanted to see exactly where we stand. I mean, obviously, one game, and the starters aren't playing, so you really can't judge them and how they're going. Last year, none of the starters played really, and by game one, man, we were just off and running. I went to that Tampa game, and I was not ashamed to go because obviously I would never have gone if I knew that they were going to, oh, they're going to just stink it up, but that wasn't the case. So,
Dude, they were in that game all the way up until they got a shitty call against them at the end of the game. I mean, I don't know that Dallas deserved to win, but I don't think that they deserved to lose. It was a coin flip,
yeah.
and we lost out on that last call, that
Yeah,
stupid pass interference.
I was
You
watching
were
it
in the
right in front of
stadium.
that pass interference, and so that right there, I saw it. I was jumped up, and even there was a point where the guy took off his helmet, the linebacker, and I'm like, "Where's the call?" And the whole crowd was kind of like, yeah, yeah, I get, you can't say he's wrong. The one guy that's yelling, of course, and that was me. But the pass interference was pretty obvious even from the stand. So,
You
um,
yell? I don't know that you yell. I would yell. I don't know
yeah,
that you would yell.
I was yelling. I was a single
Now, how
person on
far are
that.
you from Tampa?
I'm about an hour and a half, so it's just
Okay, that's
I
not
hop,
bad. It's
skip, and
like
a
from
jump.
me to New York. I'm about an hour and 40 to New York.
Yeah. So
Echo is
I'm a
on
little
you.
jealous that.
Oh, you got it, Phil. You got it.
Good, 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 good.
Yeah, yeah,
This is
yeah.
with the
You
trial and
got
error.
it
I love
working.
it. But I
Yeah.
want to go over some of these, just the roster in general. I mean, I want to talk about how what our quarterback situation looks like, or every position. I think going into the season. And obviously, that's what I said. Like going closer to the end of preseason probably would have been a better idea because you would have gotten a better idea of who's hurt, who's actually making an impact in the games compared to training camp. I mean, look at T.J. Vasher. I thought he was going to be special. He is. He has a thing to him, but at the same time, he's kind of disappeared as well.
I think Vasher has showed why he was drafted where he was, or I don't even know. Well, he was a late round, right? He was seventh rounder, or was he a?
I thought he was
Yeah,
undrafted.
yeah, he
I
might
think
have
he
been
was
undrafted.
undrafted.
He he's what 6'6". He runs good, but he absolutely does not know the route tree.
Yeah,
And
and he's
every time
lanky.
you look up, he's getting. I mean, he's a guy that, in the red zone. You throw the ball up, but on this team, um, yeah, Fahoko is only a couple inches shorter, and he seems to be doing better. So I think right now Vasher is going to be a practice squad guy.
Yeah,
Um, but
yeah, I can
it's
see that as
early
well.
yet. I mean, we need to see what's going to happen in this game. And yeah, I'm watching these games, and I see everybody is starting their starters, and I'm happy that we're not. But it is a little scary
Yeah, you don't know
because
what we
I
have.
mean everybody's going the whole half today. Yeah, this weekend. Yeah, game two. This is the big game.
Did you
Um,
see? Did you happen to see a video of Michael Gallup catching passes? Like that got me a
I
little
did.
excited. I got me a little excited.
Yeah, well,
Even
Mark
if it's
Holmes mentioned that, and we were talking about it. I was shocked
yeah, yep.
because they pulled the plug and wanted to say, hold up. He's gonna. I mean, why would they do that? I
I
mean,
think
why
it's
would
just
they
because
say?
they may have had he may have been already ready. You saw him running before, and maybe because of the whole James Washington, it just kind of elevated that whole recovery a little bit quicker than they wanted to. But it's not a bad sign. I mean, I love it. I like the young guys. I know a lot of people are very torn up. We need a guy to bring a veteran. We should have never got rid of a Cooper. I think that's going to always be the one that haunts us as well. Especially if they ever go back out for another. Oh, we're going to trade a first round for this. Yeah, it's just a joke, and I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
we're not surprised as well.
Well, you saw what Cooper did to Darius Slay. Over the last couple of days, he toasted Slay. He owned Slay. That that hurts. It does. I mean,
Hmm.
somebody's going to have to step up in that situation. And I know CD's going to go off, but who's that second guy? You know, um, it should be interesting.
Brooklyn Joe signed Dicker the kicker. I like it.
Dicker the kicker. You know what, Dicker the kicker? Anything's
I like
better than
it.
these guys we
I'm
got.
sorry. I
I
had
mean,
to. I know we were talking wide receiver, but kicker is
no,
always
no,
a
no.
concern.
And
Kicker is always a
I
concern.
love weed. If
Ah,
Dennis Houston balls out tonight, is he our three?
oh man.
Absolutely.
You
I'm
know,
sorry, absolutely.
right now the way that Dak throws to him, he could be your number two. He could easily be your number two. If he's the guy that makes Dak feel comfortable, how is he not your number two?
I Yeah, well, I mentioned this on Mark's Live. He reminds me now, please, people, don't go nuts. He reminds me of a young Michael Thomas. Same kind of build. He runs great routes. He's not a speedster. Always is getting open.
Yeah.
Great hands. I mean, listen.
Just one of those
I
shorter
know.
guys like Steve Smith that would just no matter what he gets the ball. So
Yeah, but I mean, I believe he's 6'1". It's not like he's
not,
short.
yeah,
He's a decent size for a
well, it's
receiver.
like Turpin. I mean, for example, like what was he during that preseason game? Obviously, you had a quarterback. But I don't really judge too much of the receivers from this preseason game in the beginning, especially when Rush didn't seem to really want to throw the ball to them. So how can you judge a wide receiver and his route running and stuff like that when you don't have the quarterback to actually back it up? So I'm interested to see what these young guys can do because in training camp they're doing their thing. So
Yeah, absolutely.
so with that, I
I
think even adding into that, I mean, you got to add the tight ends to this group a little bit too. I mean, Dalton Schultz and Jake Ferguson, I'm loving what
Yeah,
they were
Dalton
doing.
Schultz is going to go off, but yeah, they're gonna. Don't be surprised if they don't, start to roll coverage his way and try and take care of him and CD, and then that's where our running game, it does come in. I'm just interested, getting back to tonight's game. I'm interested in seeing the offensive line push because the defense is going to have their starters in. Um,
Yeah.
I'm just curious, how is it going to look? Is it going to be really bad? Where I don't. I'm not sure who's all playing, but I don't think it's many starters on the offensive line other than Steele. Steele. They always throw Steele in.
And they'll probably
Steele
put
always plays.
And you'll have probably like Tyler Smith playing as well too, and that's what will make people feel like he's not as important as well too. So I mean, you'll stick them in there, and then people are going, well, why is he your backup? What's going on there? Why is he playing the whole game? And I mean, I don't blame them. You want him to get you want him to get reps, but at the same time, what are we
God
really playing for
forbid.
here?
I mean, yeah, like my main thing is stay healthy. This is a
Yeah.
long season. The football early in the year, is it going to be what it is at the end of the year? But just think of this also. They're as healthy as they're going to be now.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, sure.
at the
And
end
it's
of the
scary
year,
already.
yeah, it's scary. You know where I'm sitting. I would say that last cut we're going to pick up somebody to help out at swing tackle.
Yeah, right now, I mean,
I'm
you don't
hearing.
have a whole lot of depth into the guard position. I don't see it. I mean, McGovern, they're playing. I don't know. I don't know if they're trying to convince people, or they could be trying to bring up his trade value to try to maybe trade him off because you
That's what
already
I
have Tyler
think. I
Smith.
had mentioned this the other day. They're definitely going to flip a couple players. Now, when I say trade, all you're doing is you're beating, because how it goes when you release people, you're just beating, you're just,
Yeah,
basically trading somebody's direct for your direct, but not necessarily. I
that's
mean,
true. I think
like
I love Weeds
we have
asking.
an over and abundance of defensive line,
Yeah,
whereas a team may have an over and abundance of,
offensive line. Yeah.
yeah. So and we can flip it. That's
Yeah.
basically what it.
See, I love Weeds ask. Does Alrancon make it or break it tonight?
I like that. I
Yeah.
like how you say Alacon. I don't know if I can do that.
He wants cake. He wants a starting job. He wants a backup job. That's what he should want.
Listen,
I think he can make
they're
this roster.
talking about him. Yeah. Well, they're talking about him being a swing candidate, a swing tackle candidate. That's how
I don't
good
know
he's
about all
doing.
that.
I
I
know,
haven't
but
seen him at tackle, but I mean,
well, he played a little last game in
did
the
he?
second half.
I
Yeah,
didn't catch that.
but it's
I
hard to
gotta look
tell
back.
when he's going against those guys. But
Yeah.
hey, listen, anybody can be better than Josh Ball. I just hope there's another plan. I just do.
Yeah. I'm not even sure. I don't even think they know if there's a
Yeah,
plan as
Jack
well.
Meeker, he played pretty good last game. Yeah, yeah, because I watched a highlight show and they were showing him, and he did pretty damn good. I was shocked.
Yeah,
So
as he jumps in, as Meeker's saying, with their Osa supposed to play. I'm liking that. I'm liking Osa this year. When you hear stories about him, you're hearing people talk about him as like who's that guy over there? And they point out, oh, that's Osa, and then he's making his moves.
yeah, between him and Gallimore starting in the middle, right, and then you have. Yeah, you're gonna have D Law, and then who's gonna start another? I mean, that's pretty
I think the
nasty.
outside is more the question.
And then
It's
you
like-
got Parsons. I'll be curious to see how they use Anthony Barr.
See, right now I have on my graph here. I show Armstrong there, but I think you got to take Armstrong out of that equation. Put Sam Williams in there because
He's not getting much runs. Like he's made it. I know he's a decent player. Actually, he had what almost as I think he had the same amount of sacks as Randy Gregory last year.
Yeah, but
but
to me, I think it's a Dan Quinn, for example, could just be waiting to release him a little bit. There could be some of these defensive lines. I think it's the scheme that's going to really get these guys their sacks. I like every single person you're plugging in, and I think I have to agree with you in the sense you have so much depth here that I said this on Mark's channel that moving to the 3-4, I'd like it because what you can do with that outside linebacker position can be switched between your ends and your linebackers in general. I mean, that's where you can put Parsons, and he can rush and he can cover. He can do both as well. And even if he's switching sides and stuff like that, that's still a position that's perfect for him within this scheme because you got some big defensive linemen that can hold those positions.
Yeah, Mark Holmes, roster cuts are going to be hard. Yeah, they're going to be very hard. Like we've already talked about it. We're going to be letting go if people, players that are going to start on somebody else's team.
I agree. Honestly, it's you're gonna fall in love with someone, and you're gonna be heartbroken when there's gonna be bound to be somebody. You can't fall in love with everybody in this roster, and you're gonna know exactly who's gonna make this team. Even when I play Madden, I get a little bit nervous of releasing people, even when they got lower rankings. So.
Yeah.
So I'm liking where the defense is going because obviously even if you don't have anybody else on your defense, you obviously have Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn itself is the man, and I love the fact that he came back. He was just eyeballing one position for his coaching candidacy, Denver Broncos, which I mean, I don't blame him on that sense. That was a pretty good, almost complete team, and obviously they did a really good job in putting Russell Wilson in there, but. He comes back. How long? Are we only going to for this 1 year? Is there another, possible coaching candidacy that he can, Tampa Bay, for example, that has a good defense, he just needs maybe that
Right.
quarterback after Brady or whatever like
Right.
that. That's a good spot. So, I mean,
Yeah.
there's some stuff there that, hey, he could be in the running for. It's just how much does he want to stay here? How much does he want to keep coaching Parsons and just an amazing defense that he's putting together with Will McClay? So I'm just hoping that he'll stay around. And I know,
Yeah. Well, I'm just worried that Stephen Jones is going to outthink himself. Uh, like he always does.
yeah,
It's going to be simple. When we get to the final cut, keep the better players. Now, from what I'm hearing, is that Goodwin, our his special teams ace,
yeah, C.J.
um,
Goodwin, yeah,
CJ Goodwin, he is lost a step big time since last year. So, and that's what Broadus has said the same thing, that he's not the same player. Every year he's been declining, and don't be surprised if one of our other head cornerbacks takes his jobs. Everybody's saying, "Well,
Bland.
Goodwin's on the team." Uh, I'm not really sure. I'm keep hearing like Nashawn Wright is going to be that guy. He's going to start out on special teams
Yeah,
and take Goodwin's job, and then just fill in, in cornerbacks. So I think Goodwin's gone. I think that Kelvin Joseph is on the team. I mean, everybody says they're going to cut him. They're not cutting a second round pick. I will be shocked. I'm going to tell you right now, they're not cutting Kelvin Joseph.
yeah,
I was doing just a overall 53, with the other day, and most of these names are going to be on the team. They're going to just, they cut the guys that nobody knows about, and there's not going to be too many surprises. The only thing is going to be the defensive line. So,
yeah. I think just who makes it. I mean, obviously in the beginning of the year, I was all about like not having Tristan Hill in there, and now. It's is he actually a person that I'm going to care about if you actually get rid of it? But we'll see. I mean, again, like everybody's saying, it's like as soon as you fall in love with somebody, especially on that defensive line, I know there's some guys there that I'm really really liking how they're piecing it together. It's just I know there's going to be somebody, and it's not going to be somebody that I want. For example, Terrell Basham. I mean, he's been playing pretty good this off season.
yeah,
Some
all he does is
interceptions.
make plays. I mean,
That would have been another candidate that I would have probably been like, maybe he's going to walk out the door. Carlos Watkins.
I think Watkins is done. I think Hill. I've heard, my new Marcus talked about Hill possibly making the team. I still think he's a trade bait. I see I Love Weed. He likes Wright. Yeah, I think Nashawn Wright is definitely. He's already a real good special teamer. I think he's going to slide into that that CJ Goodwin spot, which is going to allow him to stay on the team because they're saying, no, he might get cut. He's not getting cut either. I guarantee. I'll be shocked if Kelvin Joseph gets cut. Bland is on the team. We'll see how we get through the next two games. That may make some of these decisions easier. Because you know how that goes. If somebody's banged up, they'll start the year on pup or whatever, just to give them a couple of weeks. Because there's always injuries at the beginning of the year.
Yeah. I am actually seeing. I'm trying to like our Zoom is kind of messing with me right now and saying that I have like a time limit and stuff. So.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah. So that's the first time I ever had that. So, but anyways, so this again the trial.
Yeah,
and
Mark,
everything.
are you still here, Mark?
Yeah, it's probably just it's giving me like a whole time limit. But
Why
anyways,
is the Zoom given a time limit? Is that normal? Is that like a setting that Phil has to do prior?
yeah, I probably do a pro as it wants me to upgrade and stuff like that.
I want your money.
Hey,
But still.
But anyways, no. Okay, so going into this game, as we're broken down, obviously we'll go into more of those live games. We'll talk more about the roster itself and where we're going. Kicker is obviously just up for debate. We don't. I think Maher's job, really honestly, to lose by this point. Maybe they're doing the thinner field goals to try to get these guys a little bit more ready than. I don't know. It seems like this trio that seems to be kind of rotating in here. It just seems to be the same type of person. We're not getting a consistent guy, a guy that could probably kick a 60-yard field goal, but as soon as he gets it within 30 yards of this field goal, he's not that same guy.
Yeah. Well, they were, complaining about the field goals. I think one went 6 for 9 in practice, the other went 4 for 9, but they were using those real narrow goalposts, you know, in
Yes.
San Diego. Most of them, all but one, would have went in between both kickers. Now, I'm thinking Maher is going to be the guy. Hiram or Liram
Yeah,
Hiralahu,
Liam
I think that's
Halalahu.
it. Yeah, I think his leg is just not big enough. Um, and I think Maher, it's
Maher,
Maher's job to lose, but there might. I mean, our kicker might be on somebody else's team right now. We'll see what happens. We
and
could pick
I'm
up a
with Jack.
kicker.
I'm with Jack. Unfortunately, it is Brett's. With him having the experience last year, at least with the Saints, you could see him,
Yeah.
at least being a game time ready and stuff. But like right now, it just seems like everybody. Again, I've said this over and over again. There's so many colleges in the in the whole nation. The fact that you can only bring 3 guys in is just crazy. I mean, if American Idol can bring thousands and thousands of people in to audition for being a singer, I think you can audition at least the kickers, for a little bit. At least they can fool you that you can bring them back. But maybe that's just me.
Now, what are we looking for who starts the game tonight? Is it Cooper Rush?
I mean, I would imagine. Okay, have they come out and said anything? Maybe some of the guys on the chat can tell us. But I think maybe they should flip it.
Just go for 2, right? Yeah. Right, Weed? Yeah, exactly.
All season,
Yeah,
and
all
then,
season.
And then Mike McCarthy has to explain it. Well, statistically, we have to,
Yeah.
When I was off during the time frame, we, yeah. Forbath,
Yeah,
exactly. What happened to Kyle Forbath?
Yeah, well, that's what I had said. I had said Kai Forbath, why not bring him in? But supposedly there was a rift between him and the team, with his last day here. So, whatever. These kickers, Jesus.
Well, I mean, I know this game. They've been practicing together, so they know what they're, expecting to go against. I mean, you heard things like Parsons was just destroying them.
He's
Obviously
destroying everybody.
You were watching back and forth. I saw video, of course, of our guys getting beat. I saw Diggs looking the other way. I don't know if he challenged them and said, "I can cover you like this."
I'm glad that you brought that up. Before we go, we have to talk about the hate that Diggs is getting. I've never seen nothing like it. Every time you look, I go on Twitter, I see like a meme about Diggs getting beat. It is practice.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
I think it's funny how it became a
Throw
a
at
thing.
him. Jalen Hurts, throw at him.
Yeah, I think it's funny that it became a thing when a Cowboy led that category. Jalen Ramsey was doing that stuff. He allowed 900 something yards.
He's in the same year that Jalen Hurts is, but yet we're giving Jalen Hurts
all the benefits,
time to grow. Mm-hmm. Whereas our guy's been to a Pro Bowl, had 11 interceptions this season, and it's only going to get better. I mean, it's crazy the hate that he's getting. No wonder he deleted his Twitter account.
Yeah, I don't blame him on that one.
I mean, that's toxic, but that's fun.
It is true.
It's
it
not
is
about
90%
me either.
Philly fans. I mean, Philly fans right now this year are just chirping right now. They're
puffing their chest out. Yeah. They are puffing their chest out. So it will be interesting. I will be at Mark's that opening day, and I will be. Listen, they will be the favorite in the game. They are expected to win the game. If they don't, you're going to hear it, Philly fans.
Well, that's
you're going to hear it.
The thing about it is, like, as much as like the media has them as the favorite, like they have themselves as the favorite, so that should be it. We should be the underdogs, and I have no problem going into the battle like that, and so where the excuses will come during that season, I'm interested. I mean, I do think, like I said, like with you, we've agreed, they have a very talented roster in a lot of the spots, and they've done really good on the drafting, but I don't think it's enough. Obviously, another year or two, you get a quarterback that, I think Minshew is better than Hurts. If Minshew was starting, then maybe I would go, okay, I think they really do maybe have that chance. But it Hurts, I'm just not sold. I mean, he was the starting quarterback in college. Well, because he had Tua behind him, like, it's like pick your poison on that one.
I mean, there's a reason why that Saban went with Tua, and from what I gather, it wasn't just arm strength; it was the mental part of the game.
Yeah.
He had a hard time picking up what the defense is doing to him. He's fine when his receiver is streaking it down the field. Where he has an issue is anticipation throws, where he's throwing to a spot before a guy makes his break. I mean, you have to do that in the NFL. Your windows are very small in the NFL. You cannot wait till a guy is open. You're gonna lose every time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it looks like we're about a minute or so before, and then
I want to see what happens. I think we just stay through it. If
restart
if it cuts us off, everybody, then
I'll restart the.
Well, then we know for next time, or
I can get
that's
you back.
fine.
We can probably try to do that as well too. But
no, I did have somebody text me. I don't know. Maybe I'm sure Mark would know. Somebody can't, like chat anything. So like, why would that be? Do you know? Like it's not allowing them to chat. I don't know.
I wonder if it's a thing where you have to be a member. Like,
Yeah. But I had somebody text me say, I can't chat. I'm like, I would imagine you have to be a channel member, or
Mark's
subscriber.
Not a subscriber. That's why. On blast now.
No, it's not Mark. It's somebody else. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
90% Philly fans. Yeah, I know, Jack. I live in Eagleville, basically. I'm just over the bridge about 40 minutes, and everywhere you hear it's Eagles or this. It's not.
Yeah, there he goes. All right, so there he went. I'm going to switch this over to here, to this view here, and I am going to try to get him back. So I apologize, guys, but, hey, like what you say, it is the actual live broadcasting. I know myself, I'm very excited about football in general being back. I'm loving that it's in the air, even, and yeah, it's annoying to see the Philly fans kind of doing their thing, but at the same time, it's just like, hey, at least, all right, let me try and get this up again. At least it's football in the air. You don't hear much from the Giant fans. You don't hear much from Washington fans. They're still trying to get used to their own name. So I'm gonna try to get Bryan back. I have to send him something. Link here. So I apologize, guys. All right, let's see if we can get him back. And sent him that link there, so he can do his thing. But like they said, I mean, now I can concentrate back on you guys. With me, I want to jump on the first thing and to say that with the wide receiver, I'm going to jump back onto the wide receiver whole chat talking that we were doing, and the reason why until basically he's able to come back. But I'm excited about this core. I mean, Houston obviously was doing this thing. I was calling him Hudson for the longest time. So he goes to show you, undrafted dude that's probably going to make this team because he's got, Dak's support. And you got, of course, Jalen Tolbert that, he's kind of disappeared a little bit. But I think we have the same thing as Bryan was saying, like we have to kind of like give people a chance. Give these young guys a chance to be able to make some noise. The penalties, oh my God, like... Was it the referees? I mean, do you do a 50-50 on the blaming on that stuff? Let me see. Let me let him know. Let's see. Link sent. So, yeah, I mean, with the wide receiver T.J. Vasher, obviously the one-handed catch and then he disappears, kind of like Odell Beckham that year with the Giants. Put it pass interference, got the one hand, kind of disappeared for a while until he won a Super Bowl. So as much trash talking there, there it is. Also, when I look at the other wide receivers, I mean, you got a lot of young guys. Okay, here he goes. Bryan's coming back. And I am going to push back onto that scene, but what's most likely going to play my video. Well, I apologize, guys. So we're back. Probably another 40 minutes or so. All right.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Damn YouTube.
Yeah. Well, that's a Zoom. I'm gonna change that up a little bit as well too. So, my girl's already chiming in with how we can do this better.
Well, good. Yeah, get her on it then. Listen, like we knew this was going to be our first,
I'm, I'm,
Zoom.
I'm happy
I
I
think
was
it's
able to
fun.
get some
Yeah.
graphics up, man. I mean, another 10 years, and I'll probably be where Skywalker Steel's at. Shoot.
Yeah, well, that's the Skywalker Steel. He's the best at, you know, all that stuff.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
So,
I really like listening to him a lot. I love a lot of these YouTubers. I mean, Kavanaugh, obviously. Brian Broaddus, I love listening to Brian. I mean, he's definitely got a mind there. There's some guys on there that
yeah,
I refuse to listen to. Skip.
you could get caught up in the minutia of X's and O's and looking at tape. I mean, it's good how certain people bring it in and then, spin off of it. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, use your eyes, people. We're all football fans here. It's not that difficult. It's not. I mean, you just have to take your biases out. I mean, if I see that there's a player on the Cowboys that is not getting the job done, you got to go. I mean, I want to win another Super Bowl. Man, my young son, believe it or not, is 18 years old. He has not seen a Super Bowl championship. He saw nothing but losing. He saw basically one playoff win.
Yeah.
It's time to get it done. It's
Yeah.
time to get it done. And I'm tired of hearing other teams talk their smack.
And I'm right there with the group of people, especially with Mark, when they talk about putting Jimmy Johnson into that Ring of Honor and kind of karma maybe has something. I mean, there might be something to that.
Yeah, I just saw where Bill Bidwell is going to be put in his Ring of Honor week 1. Must be nice, right?
Yeah, people that
Why
actually
can't
honor you. But
Why
anyways, let's
can't
go
we
back
get
to
Jimmy?
this game. What are you expecting to see? Are you expecting to see anything out of Kellen Moore? Or you just keep it vanilla, and then if he actually may have something, just to release it in the season, you see him doing anything? Is he maturing?
No, no, no. I think Kellen Moore is going to be Kellen Moore. I think they're going to focus on the running game. Uh, setting up these short third downs, and take like a couple shots downfield. I'm, like without Dak, without most of our offense, it's going to be rough. But I'm just going to pick out players, and listen. I think we all want to win just to shut people up. But in the end, does it really mean anything? No. But I
Yeah.
do want to win. I
I
don't
mean,
care if it's
I do.
it's
Yeah, I do in the sense that I mean, I will admit that in the last year of Garrett, I was just ready to lose. People even ask me, because who do you want to win to get into the playoffs? I'm like, if it makes Jason Garrett stay here, I don't want to get in. I'd rather lose it and just have him gone. I don't feel that same way with McCarthy. I'm not a McCarthy guy, but I don't see the bad. I see a Sean Payton. I see the exact same kind of stats. Maybe a little bit more innovative in the offensive part of it, but I don't want to just dump a head coach that's because for the longest time I know I was trying to go for a guy like Bill Cowher. I wanted some experience. I want somebody to kind of just revamp what we had culture wise, and I like the culture that's changing.
yeah.
Maybe it's a lot of Dan Quinn. I mean, that could be the more of a him getting in there. You don't really hear much of McCarthy, but I like the culture change. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just, can it change enough to be different than what we were in San Francisco? I think that is huge. I mean, we just got manhandled. I mean, as much as
There's only one coach on this staff that I have issue with,
film.
and it's and it's Joe Philbin.
Yeah.
It's nothing personal. I'm sure he's a nice man. I know we all know the story. I believe his son. I don't know if he committed suicide or he drowned. I think he committed suicide. That was years ago. But I mean, he's a nice man. But man, our offensive line does not play aggressive enough. As far as I'm concerned. I'm hoping that I'm wrong. I'm hoping that they turn it around this year. Let's see. Jose Christian, the whole scouting department needs to be fired. Yeah, I would disagree. Jalen Tolbert was a third-round draft pick, and he's probably going to be 600-700 yards this year. That's just a fact. Simplified, definitely.
Yeah, I'm trying to. They're like, oh, you need a moderators and stuff. definitely agree.
We need to. We need to. Honestly, I didn't know that we would have 2 people in here, so look, we're just getting our feet wet, and Phil will definitely figure it out. He's the man.
Yeah, Yeah. So,
Your Brooklyn Joe. Yeah, exactly. A few three and outs, and Kellen will get all flustered. Yeah, I'm afraid, Joe, that the Kellen's going to want to put out three wide, like a 3, 4, 5 wide, and go wide open. That's not how we need to play. I think our defense is going to eat. I think we need to run the ball, set up play action, open it up that way. So
yeah.
because we got a
Sorry.
lot of young receivers.
No, I'm like making moderator. Sorry, I'm like, see, I like this is what I knew was gonna happen. I was like, you're gonna need to do some stuff
Yeah.
here because I'm gonna start doing
Go
little
pull
things
up
in the
Andy
background.
Reid. Jose Christian, go pull up Andy Reid first 2 years with the Chiefs. But you didn't hear the Chiefs
Man,
calling fire. Yeah.
a guy that he kind of reminded, there's some reminding there is I don't remember. He was for the Chiefs. Schottenheimer. Remember him
Oh
where he
yeah,
would
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah,
make 13 winning games in a season and then playoffs. And then it was
yeah. There's a
like,
gleam.
12 games and then another 14 games and then boom,
Yeah,
out of the playoffs. And it's like it kind of
yeah,
kind of reminds me there. That's where we've kind of been, in that little thing. So Mike McCarthy kind of reminds me of that little part.
yeah. And I look at it this way with McCarthy. He's won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, yeah, that's not very
He's
many.
won a Super Bowl. So you could say whatever you want about the man. He's won a Super Bowl. He's won as many Super Bowls as the Eagles franchise has won in their whole existence. So there you go. So you keep complaining about him.
Oh man, I love it. Okay, so I'm gonna go. I'm gonna beat like a
Weeds
dead
got the
horse.
wrench.
Yep, I threw a couple of people in there. I am going to talk a little bit about running backs. I mean, we need to talk a little bit about Tony and Zeke. How do you see the season coming out? Like what's the
Well,
debate? To me, I love it. I think they're a heck of a compliment to each other. You got one that blocks, one that's a power runner, one that's elusive, maybe a wide receiver for both of them. So I like the duo. Obviously, I'm with Mark in the sense that he needed to be able to take less money next year.
yeah. I don't know. I I want Zeke, to succeed so much. I love Zeke. I love the relationship with him and Dak. I think Zeke is one of the toughest backs in the NFL. I want him to have a 1,300-yard year and just to shut people up. Zeke should be on the team next year. The only way he wouldn't is if Catboy doesn't want to pay him anything because Zeke's going to take a team friendly deal.
I think
And
so
as
too.
far as Pollard, you get ready. He's going to see more slot, and I'm already happy because they're running more two running back formations that I've seen from this team in a long time, which is good because he's going to slip out. You yeah, good luck trying to stop those two. You know
Who
what I mean? I really.
who's your third stringer? Who makes the team?
Oh, it's Rico
You
Dowdle.
think
It's
Rico?
already done. Yeah, it's Rico,
See, I
and
would
he
have
deserves it.
again. I would have thought that last year. I was the same way. I was like, Rico Dowdle is definitely going to be that guy.
He got
Then he
hurt.
got hurt, and I was, oh, man, it was just who's going to fill in,
Yeah,
But at least now
yeah.
we have another
It's
capable
Rico.
guy in Davis. I think you got a good third
Yeah,
running
yeah.
back
I
as
think
well.
Davis is going to be that guy. He's either going to make it to us on the practice squad, or I mean, this could all change because Davis is
Injuries
going to
happen
get
exactly.
yeah, he's going to get a lot of work. Him and the other rookie are going to get a lot of work. Tonight and tomorrow. I mean, next week, and that's a little. He could have one of those little bit of like ankle rolls or something and be stashed away. There's a lot that can happen. So, I mean, I'm just looking forward to watching a game, tonight where I think they're going to do some good things, but I just want to see the quarterbacks. I want to see the quarterbacks run an offense because last week it was, excuse my language, it was shit. They could not run that offense. It took,
Benucci.
uh, yeah, Danucci.
Douchey
In a
Danucci.
JMU zone, right, Mark?
He even had the sleeves. I always love his style. He definitely has. He's ready for a magazine cover. Danucci. But
Yeah, yeah,
he
yeah.
definitely has
He,
that. Oh,
I'd
man,
like to
that's
have a beer
instincts
with the
too.
guy. I wouldn't mind having a beer with him. I just don't want him, running my offense if I can help it. I
Yeah,
was at that game.
I think when
I'm
you
in Philly. That was ugly.
when you compare him, like when people compare him to like Romo, I can understand in somewhat of a comparison. But when Romo first came, you could still see somewhat of a spark as that third stringer. You go, okay, let's keep an eye on this guy, and he kind of just stayed in the background. But you weren't really surprised when he came to the starting front. It would scare the hell out of Cowboy fans if he was your starter, at any point. So I mean, I don't. Again, this is really feeling a lot like the kicking situation where you're bringing in the same guys. It doesn't really seem to change. I don't know how much of it was skill last year with the Vikings game. CeeDee Lamb with the amazing catch in the end zone, the back of the end zone, I thought was just incredible. But can you rely on Rush to be that guy? I felt more confident in him last year than I do in him this year. I mean, obviously this could change if he throws 300 yards all of a sudden in the game, but
as much as I'm down on Rush, just look what he's dealing with. He has no starting running backs. He has no CeeDee Lamb. It's all rookies, and it's Noah Brown, and Noah Brown is like locked in. So I mean, it's just.
I like the fact that as you're going in there, you bring up Noah Brown. I like the fact that Simi Fehoko is making some plays. Because I remember talking about him and bringing him up in some chats, and people just jumped on me.
I was worried about Fehoko. I mean, last year. I mean, anybody that's watching.
I like it. He's biased because he looks like Romo. Because he's Romo. Yeah. Yeah, that Romo guy. He's a really amazing guy. Listen.
Yeah, right.
This is gonna be a run to the left.
Yeah. But who knows? I mean, he has really stepped up. But it's all about what happens during, like when the lights go on. I keep saying Lance Lenoir. Remember Lance Lenoir?
Yes,
he would tear it up, and then he'd get into a game, and he would disappear. Who's going to make a play tonight? Who's going to make a play? I'm hoping it's Houston.
Yeah, I want
to. Because that's going to be like, Jesus. Could you imagine if you're an Eagles fan, right, and you're watching it, and you say, you get rid of Amari Cooper, and then you fall into and then Dennis Houston falls into our lap.
There's been a couple of people
really,
like that.
really good.
There's been a couple of people like that have fallen into our lap. Yeah. I even give Dak falling into our lap. I'm sorry, but it's like they didn't want him. They did almost everything in their power to not get Dak.
Yeah.
And
I was looking up I was watching something. He went to Western Illinois, Houston, and he was on a team that only won like 2 or 3 games all year. He was their primary. Every team game planned to stop him. And he was still a big weapon.
Yeah.
So, and it's a smaller school, and people go, oh, well, that doesn't translate. Well, it's looking like it's translating pretty good. I don't care what level you're at. If everybody on the field is trying to stop you and you're still successful,
that says a lot. Yeah. I agree. I mean, there's a lot of guys on here. I mean, I haven't seen much of Bell. Have you heard, I know we're jumping all over the roster and stuff like that, but we're talking about undrafted free agents.
We're trying to cover, we're trying to cover as many guys for tonight. I mean, I want to hear from anybody in the chat. I mean, who you guys looking forward to seeing? Marquis Bell, he's going to be a special teamer. He's going to be groomed.
Right there, that's your guy that replaces C.J. Goodwin. If Goodwin does not make this roster, I said Bell being that guy that's your gunner,
Yeah, but Bell is going to be listed as a safety, which is gonna, which is fine. But everybody kept saying that Nashawn Wright and Kelvin Joseph are in trouble. I don't think so. I think Goodwin is gone. I think most of these guys are gonna make it. There's not gonna be many surprises like last year. Remember we were talking. There wasn't that many surprises. Somebody's gonna be stashed, on his short-term IR for like a fingernail or something. There's not going to be that many surprises. But our D-line, we keep circling back to it, but we got so many good bodies there.
I mean, and
Uh,
then not only do you have good bodies, you have actually team players. Like I, for the longest time, was so hung up on D. Law's contract. I just, again, yes, it's the Cowboys' fault for kicking cans down the road and causing these problems. Where you see, like even Zeke, Mark pointed out very well in the sense of the roster and how it breaks down and how the Cowboys kicking that can down the road. I mean, obviously we
yeah.
want that as fans, and I'm not going to shy away from the fact that I want restructure so we can have some money, so we can go out and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I don't. And when you look at the Saints and what they were able to do, how can you be scared about moving
Story
money around?
Jackson. Yeah, I
Story
love
Jackson.
weed. He went to see Story Jackson. Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. That's what I'm saying. I mean, we are
There's a
so
lot of.
deep on defense. We are. It's our, it's the offensive line. It just keeps, blink, blink, blankety blank. Who's going to
Yeah.
step up?
And I
And,
think that's funny because going into last year, we had the offense. Offense was up there, defense was not.
well, yeah, exactly. Everybody in this chat knows going into last year, we were scared. We had a horrible defense the year before. Half the people didn't want Micah Parsons. The other half wanted him and had no clue what he was going to be. Man, did we hit it. We hit it. Now, yeah, we lost the playoff game, and that sucks. Trust me, it sucks. But,
I
man,
mean,
when you have a good defense, you're in most games. You're in every game.
I think that's the only thing that would give me hope. Like I said, and I know we've had this discussion. I've been talking about how I think we definitely have a team to win the NFC East, but to go into the playoffs and win, I don't have that same confidence. And it has everything to do about the offensive side of the ball. And when we had stars last year, and we had a coaching staff that didn't know how to use them, or there wasn't execution on some of that stuff. I mean, I know for me, for example, that first drive, I remember vaguely Cedric Wilson's pitch to Tony Pollard and it just being totally off. And you can't blame that on Kellen Moore. I mean, it's definitely a lot of
Yeah, no,
execution and
no.
penalties, and
Well,
and that's why it's like, yes, Michael Irvin says this crazy thing when he talks about how they could be undefeated if they just get the penalties out of the way. I mean, I get what he's saying. uh,
but again, most of these penalties are being made by guys that aren't going to be on the field.
mhm.
Okay, they're not. You don't have Randy Gregory offsides, three times in one half. You know what I mean? Like you're not going to have Connor Williams so you're rocking back him because he knows he's not. He needs every edge that he can get. You're
Mhm.
not going to have that. You had Lyle Collins had a horrible last year with that. Why? Because they weren't ready to play for whatever reason, either ability, injury, or or they're just not good in my opinion, in the case of Connor Williams. So I think let's just give them a chance. I'm not going to sit there and say penalties. Yeah, I get it, but a lot of these guys who made the penalties in this first game are not, going to be a big part of this team. So,
Yeah.
and
And
as
what
far
about
as
okay? So as we're talking about part of the team, I honestly instantly think of Bland, Deron Bland. Uh,
Deron Bland,
like I've been seeing
watch him
film on
tonight.
him, and I kind of don't want to jump on the hype, but
Jump on the hype.
when you see him move, you see his hip movement. He's reacting to the wide receiver. It's not scheme. I mean, you're scheming him to be in the position, but he's reacting. He's seeing the field, and I think
He's
that's
got toughness and his feet. He's got really fast feet, and he's not getting lost out there for where he was drafted and where it came from. Man, he's doing great. He's only going to get better.
yeah. And
I mean,
I think it's funny because like I'm over here, thinking about other people on the roster making that possible thing, and now you got Bland coming out of nowhere. I mean, that's amazing.
yeah, I mean, like I said, it it's guys like Bland, it's guys like Dennis Houston, it's guys like that win you a Super Bowl. You
Yeah.
can't because you had made a comment before. It's like we need more first round picks. Basically saying we hit on our first round picks. I mean that's true, but we also hit on the late round or the free agents. I mean, remember Larry Brown? Larry Brown was a 12th round draft pick when they had 12 rounds, and he ended up being the Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah. And he ended
That's
up
what.
getting a big contract by the Raiders. So I
Yeah,
remember that whole thing. I remember I
that's
always compare him with Alvin Harper, like going to other
that's
teams.
what wins you Super Bowls, and then you Catboy after you are at the precipice of being able to do things, which is what I thought we were last year. And then you need to go out and make that one move, whether the Charles Haley
See, I
or
thought
the
that was Wagner this past year, but
yeah,
yeah,
that's what I'm saying. But we got Barr, so let's just
at least
say
that's a good
okay.
compliment. Yeah, I agree.
I think
I
Barr
at
actually
least something.
fits. I think Barr. I think Barr fits
The scheme.
the scheme a little better. I only say that because he can come from everywhere. So
It's definitely the covering. I think he'll have maybe a lot more from, but in the scheme you don't need him to do that. I mean, you got other linebackers that can do that. You got Cox that can do it. You got LVE seems to be doing well. I mean, it's hard to talk anything bad about him. I jumped on his last
I
year
like Leighton. I like
about
Leighton.
just the oversensitivity. I had nothing about his play. It was just that his oversensitivity. Once Jalen was gone,
Yeah,
he
yeah,
lashed out, and but I get it. I mean, I get it.
yeah.
So Mark,
I
I'm a mod.
he's a mod,
Moving up in the
but
but yeah, the linebackers. I mean, Damone Clark,
Joe
I like him.
Gonzalez. Thanks, sweetie. Yeah, I'm just excited for the season. I'm excited to get to Mark's house to week one and just watch all the games.
I'm gonna see if I can
Rolling, rolling into the night game. I just think they're going to win that game. I'm sorry, I keep hearing all these people saying they're going to lose Tampa. I think they're winning the game. I'm going to be disappointed if they don't win that game.
There's a lot.
There's no reason.
I definitely agree. There's some offensive linemen going down for Tampa Bay right now. I'm not going to jump on the hype of Brady walking away for a little couple of weeks and not being in shape. That guy, his health, all his regimens. I'm not gonna hold anything. I know that he's more of a game manager. I've seen many game managers win Super Bowls, but he's like that ultimate guy that's won the Super Bowl by managing games, and that's nothing wrong with that at all. So I mean, that's where you get a lot of the people that are the dink and dunks, and you're just trying to keep the ball out of the defense.
Listen, we could say what we want about Brady. He's a friggin' winner, and that's in every sense. If anything, maybe Dak could, sit down with Tom and maybe get a little more fire. I mean, he has fire, but it seems like that resonates more. I mean, you can only lead by example so much. Every once in a while, you need to put your foot up somebody's backside, and that's what Tom Brady does. He will call out a player. There's no player that that's.
Well, that's what I didn't like about the Jason Garrett era. You would come in, you would get a loss, and it was like Romo, and then would go out with this template of actual. Oh well, I'm not going to think about that. I'm going to go. Well, I'm going to drink. I'm going to think about it all night, all the following week. I'm going to talk about it because that's great as an organization if you can do that. But I did not like those comments,
And it was like he would look at the media like, "How dare you ask that question?" Listen, the media speaks for the fans, and unfortunately, fortunately, the Cowboys have the biggest fan base anywhere. So these questions need to be asked. I'm sorry you don't like it, sir. The coach clapped. So now he's calling our game.
It's really hard to watch him comment stuff. It just even with his like smile, it's like his forced smiles. He's talking. It's just hard to watch. It's embarrassing, honestly. It's like when you see somebody that and they're embarrassing themselves in public, and you kind of embarrass for them, and it's kind of one of those situations. I mean, honestly, with Jason Garrett, I was just ready for him to be out the door. So.
Well, he was here 10 years. I mean, he had a shot. I mean, he'll always be part of the Cowboy family. I mean, he had he was a backup quarterback on a Super Bowl winning team, man. He don't have to buy a drink in DFW, but
that's what I liked about Hard Knocks, though. When seeing the cussing coming out of his mouth, I was like, oh, at least that, man. I was like,
speaking of Hard Knocks, did anybody in the chat watch, or is anybody watching Hard Knocks? And if you're not and you have HBO, please check it out. I hadn't watched it, and I watched the first 2 episodes yesterday morning. It was an eye opener. I love that coaching staff. I mean, listen, I understand. It's so impressive, and
he's got our.
Do you think Deuce Staley is going to lose to the Eagles week 1? You should have. Phil, Deuce Staley and Aaron Glenn. Deuce is in charge of the offense. He running backs, but he's
Yeah.
basically the offensive coordinator. And
Glenn, I
Aaron
remember
Glenn
corner,
is,
right?
yeah, he's on defense. And they said we love each other. We're like brothers. But on the field, and they were getting, because it was offense against defense. They were getting brutal.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, they goes, we love each other. We're just going to make each other better. And the competition was ridiculous.
Sorry,
It's
I'm
just
laughing over Brooklyn Joe's comment.
Brooklyn Joe, yeah, trying to get Jason to say something for years. Now he won't shut up. Yeah, right. Now we're stuck with it. Yeah, we got Romo. I don't know about you guys and gals, but I hate it when, I mean, like Troy does a game.
Oh
He
yeah.
tries too hard not to be a Cowboy. Listen,
Yeah.
the reason why you're in the booth is because you were a Cowboy quarterback. It's just like you're being ultra sensitive. It's like, I mean, I like Tony, but it just seems like we have no good luck when they're, you know,
I'd agree.
announcing our game.
I'd agree.
And now we got Coach Clapp going to tell us what we're doing wrong.
We need like a
Nice.
whole new generation of announcers to kind of come through, because I know I'm just getting sick of Chris Collinsworth. I used to kind of like listening to him, but it's just you can almost put the same broadcast over every single
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
It's the same thing, and
I get it, but I don't have a problem with like the Eagles fans hate Chris Collinsworth. They think he has something out for him. He don't.
oh no, it's just
He doesn't have anything out for him. If
he
anything,
he just like any broadcaster. Whoever's winning, they talk high of, and whoever's losing, they
Right.
kind of talk about their
Yeah.
problems. That's just always how it is. It swings sometimes in the middle of games.
yeah. I'm just excited. I'm just excited for the season to get here. Let's get through tonight healthy. Hopefully, we can get a win. But more importantly, let's.
Penalties down. I want to see penalties down. I want to see
Yeah,
no
'cause
way.
you're
I want
right.
to see injuries.
You're
I
right.
want to see penalties down.
I do
Different
not.
coaching.
I do not want to have to answer or talk to an Eagle fan or a Commander fan about. Oh, there you go, or turn on ESPN. I try not to watch that shit, but I get sucked in because it's because you want to get hyped up, and then you turn it on. It's like, oh, well, the Cowboys aren't going to do nothing. This is ex-Cowboys players, but
And
they're
then
smart.
2 weeks, 3 weeks into the season, they're are they Super Bowl bound? And it just yeah.
The Cowboys off to a 4-1 start. Is this the team to beat?
Yeah,
No, you
it's
didn't
just-
like us
no,
a month
no,
ago.
No, you got
Yeah,
exactly.
no,
Stay on
no,
that
we're
side
not.
of the fence.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So, oh man,
So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited about. I'm watching. I know I've been jumping back and forth. They show that I'm supposed to be watching the Tampa game, but I'm watching Minnesota and San Francisco right now.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I haven't seen any of that. I guess that's an area thing.
yeah, I guess so.
Yeah,
I'm in Florida. Why am I watching a Minnesota game?
yeah. I don't know.
I should be watching in Tampa. You would think so.
Yeah,
That's the
You're
only problem
trying to
with
get
my
there.
area when
Yeah.
we tend to Cowboys play at the same time as Tampa, and I always have that Tampa game's on, and so they really need to figure out their whole Game Pass things and all that stuff, because I know I don't want to just jump on if it's the streams are not working, and
Yeah.
so it's just everybody's crashing it at the same time. It's just, I understand, it's the same thing that happens with popular video games and stuff like that. Everybody want to watch these particular games, and obviously the whole system's crashing. You need bigger servers, so
yeah. Well,
I'm just glad they're coming out with another something other than you have to get DirecTV. So
yeah. Well, I've been binge watching Ted Lasso on
I
on
actually
Apple
got into
TV.
it. I got into that big.
I'm I'm almost on season 2.
The guy that
It's
plays
really good.
the guy
really good.
that plays the angry main captain dude.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He's the one that plays Hercules in the new MCU.
Oh really?
Yeah, so he's the character for Hercules now. So I like that show. It's funny. They got the
Yeah,
third season that
yeah.
just came out. I haven't seen the third season at all.
Yeah. I'm like on. I think I'm on like episode 8 of season 2. It's good. I think season 2 is a little bit slower, but I thought the first season
It
was
goes back and
incredible.
forth, yeah.
Yeah. But
So as we
yeah.
go into the football talk and something else, some TV shows and stuff like that. But honestly, like I'm ready to get this game going. It's like an hour until the game time. Man, and I'm loving that they get our
Yeah.
first broadcast. I know I was talking about it. I was a little nervous about it. I didn't know how exactly it was going to be. I obviously knew that things weren't going to go always as smoothly as you wanted to. And even the next time, I know there's some things I have to change and do differently. So, it's just nice. I'm glad I was able to meet up with Bryan. Thanks to Mark, introducing me as
I
well
love
too.
weed. Joe Gonzalez, Brooklyn Joe. Nice to have you in here, buddy.
For the
Once we
attendance.
get our act together, Phil has some neat things in store for everybody. But
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
right
it'll be
now
fun.
I just started a new program today. I had to learn it in a couple of hours. So so that was definitely
Oh
interesting.
yeah,
So
he's. I can't see the graphics, but I'll be interested to check it out later.
yeah, right now I just have some stuff in the background and everything like that. I kind of had some stuff throwing up. But you know how I love to build the videos and stuff. I'm hoping to incorporate a little bit more of that kind of stuff into it as well too. So, but trial and error, and I appreciate, man, that you coming on and helping me out. Somebody to feed off, you know.
Yeah, it'll be. It's only going to get better. I love weed. I'm hungry. About to cook.
What are
See
you
you
cooking?
Cowboys soon. Yeah, yeah, yeah. What are you
Are you talking about
cooking,
the
weed?
Cowboys cooking, or you actually cooking?
Yeah, I haven't eaten. Yeah, Mark's live starts in a half hour,
Yeah,
so
man, we're
I
gonna
don't
be
know if
jumping
he's
on that.
doing a Zoom or if he's just going to do a live. Either way, I'll be there
I'll
and
be
I'll see
there as well.
everybody else there.
Yes.
All right.
So I honestly appreciate you guys, being part of this. I mean, I really love it. I love the fact that, like, again, I know I'm being repetitive when I say this stuff, but I really like the fact that there's a community. I didn't think I was gonna have on my first one. I thought it was gonna be nobody. I was just gonna basically be talking to, and no reaction, just having the people have to rewatch it as well too. So the fact that within a year I like, I look back, I thought I did like 20 videos, but I'm like up to 50 something, and I'm like, woo, look at that,
Oh,
get in
so
the
you should
arsenal.
be a pro at this.
Yeah, except for now I'm adding the live streaming, and I will admit, man, that kind of made me nervous a little bit, because I didn't know what to expect. I didn't, I see, again, Skywalker still doing his thing with the graphics. I love it, the moving graphics, everything, and then you got, and then an inspiration to me is Mark doing his thing. It's kind of makes me feel okay if he Mark
Are
throws
we
on
done?
live, man. I'm amazed he
We're
doesn't
done,
wake
right?
up and he's brushing his teeth by the time he's like, oh, come on, like it's just that guy. That guy lives on here and he does his thing, and so he's always giving us that news. So I know I tune in with him to hear his takes, and I like the fact that he brings in other people, So
Yeah.
fantasy, that whole thing, you can watch in there, get the fantasy thing. I know I'm on that hang up because I love I can predict pretty well in the sense of who's going to do what, but man, as soon as I get involved, it's like betting for me. I just go out, it goes out the window, and then I start cheering for things like, oh, I want Devontae Smith to do well, but I want the Eagles to lose, So it gets really weird for me, so I don't really jump too much into that.
Yeah.
So we got some people. We got Chinese food. Oh, look, we got Chinese food for the game for Jack. I know I got some wings downstairs. I'm gonna jump on that as well too. So I'm interested to see if Mark does a Zoom or anything. But again, Bryan, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you coming on, man. We'll be doing this more. We'll probably get a constant. This could be a Saturday night thing. I mean, the nights are either Sunday or Monday. This could be a Saturday night thing.
Yeah.
That way
I
we're not
mean,
stepping on people's toes, and we're kind of
yeah,
doing our
that's
thing.
what I was gonna say. I don't want to step on anybody's toes.
Yeah,
And Mark's been great. Like
yeah.
we're gonna take it slow, but this is the football season, so we want to get together. And I really enjoy really getting everybody's input and incorporating them, and hopefully we could do that.
Yeah.
I mean,
And bringing more
you
callers
know,
in as well too, man. We can get this thing going
yeah.
as well. Some chats.
Yeah, once we get our act together, you guys can be involved more and more, which I know that's what people like. So
Yeah, I know I liked. I know that's definitely something that draws me. I definitely that's what kind of drew me, and that's kind of made me jump onto those type of channels and stuff. I liked it.
yeah, well, it's funny because I'm used to being on with Mark where there's a bunch of people, so I will zoom in and out or zone in and out. I'll say what I'm
Uh
going to say. I'm listening, but now it's only me and you, and I need to pay attention or else I lose my train of thought. I literally have to pay attention to everything you're saying, which is interesting. And not that I don't, but
No, I know
it's like
exactly.
okay,
I know.
you
Yeah,
know what I
it's like
mean?
skimming the email. I was like, I got it. I know what you're talking
Yeah, no,
about.
yeah, right, yeah, exactly. So
But thank you guys. Honestly, hit that like button if you have it. I appreciate anybody that's coming back through and watching this. I know I'm gonna watch it because I want to see how it came out. seeing if audio stuff like that. I don't hear some of the stuff
I'm
on my
sure we'll
side.
hate some aspects.
Oh
But,
yeah, there's definitely gonna be ones where my
a
cheeks
little
turn red,
wonky.
and that time where I had to like kind of just make sure there's no dead air and just talk there.
Yeah,
That's
right.
like, oh yeah, I'm over here doing this, and like like.
That's funny.
But I'm hoping to incorporate obviously more things into the studio as well too. So again, thank you guys. Hit that like button on the way out. Share it if you can. But definitely we're gonna make this
Yeah,
a
definitely
constant
share.
thing. And Bryan, thank you very much for coming on, man. I really appreciate you doing your thing and the knowledge that you bring as well, man.
You got it, buddy, and I'm hoping to see everybody back because we're not going anywhere.
Exactly. So I'm gonna hit this and let's